Are you on the hunt for Christmas gifts that are one of a kind but are budget friendly? I'm about to share several of the most sparkling, heart-stealing Christmas gifts that'll make the holiday unforgettable. I also have 2 free printables that I'm sharing today. We've got our recipe card and some Christmas gift tags. We have so much to do, so let's jump right in and start off with our first gift. Our first Christmas present is going to take you under 5 minutes and only requires 3 ingredients. We are going to make some peppermint sugar scrub. So I'm going to get out some granulated sugar, just plain old everyday sugar. We also need some coconut oil and peppermint essential oils. That's all we need to make our sugar scrub. The first thing we need to do is melt down our coconut oil. Not to the point where it's hot, we just want it in a liquid form. So I put it in a microwave safe measuring cup. We need ½ a cup of the coconut oil. And then I put it in the microwave for 25 to 30 seconds. Just watch it carefully. As soon as it's liquid, it's done. So I'm gonna take my ½ a cup of coconut oil and I'm going to slowly pour it into 1½ cups of granulated sugar. And then I'm going to stir it around. We want it to look like wet sand. Once the oil and the sugar have been mixed together, we can take the peppermint essential oils and add about 15 to 20 drops. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. And once the 15 to 20 drops have been added, I started to stir it once again to incorporate the essential oils. And at this point, it's starting to smell so pepperminty. It's that bright, fresh Christmas scent. And that's it. How quick and easy was that? We have a whole bunch of sugar scrub now that we can package up. So the containers I'm going to get are some mason jars. I have a smaller mason jar and then I have a medium-sized mason jar. You could get whatever container you wanted. This is where you can get really creative. So I'm going to fill up the smaller container first. I'm going to scoop it in and pack it in until it's completely full. And then I popped the lid back on. Next, I filled up the larger mason jar with the rest of the sugar scrub. So now we have an individual size and a family size of sugar scrub. We can't leave them plain. We've got to dress them up. It is Christmas after all, so we want it to look festive. So for the largest mason jar, what I'm going to do is get a loofah. I got a hot pink loofah. Violet picked this one out. She wanted it to be hot pink because she's going to keep the loofah after we're done. So this is the one that she wanted. So I've got a loofah and then I have a very large cellophane bag and I'm going to add the scrub and the loofah to the bag. Then I'm going to take a pink ribbon, wrap it around the top, and now it's time to use our free printable gift tag. I have these gift tags and the sheet comes with a total of 9 gift tags. We have a variety of different holiday scenes and designs on them. And all you need to do is cut these out individually and then just punch a hole right where the circle is at the top. Now, mine are printed out in black and white because my printer ran out of colored ink. So my things are black and white today, but this is what they look like. So you can print them off in color or in black and white. So I'm just gonna cut out my gift tags individually and then I'm going to add it to the ribbon on my pretty little gift. I will leave a link to these free printables in my description box so you can print them off for yourself. Now that the largest jar of scrub has been wrapped up, what I'm going to do with the smaller one is just get a ribbon and the gift tag and I'm just going to wrap it around the lid of the smaller container. And that's it. We are done with our very affordable and very easy sugar scrub gift. We have the larger family size version with the loofah, and then we've got the individual size with just the gift tag and the ribbon. These are so custom and personal, and you could make it even more festive. If you wanted to add a couple of drops of food coloring to the scrub, you could get whatever color you wanted simply by adding some food coloring. Of course, you could switch up with the containers. That would be fun. And the loofah, instead of adding a loofah, you could put in some bath bombs or some bubble bath. That would be really fun. If you're looking for a very affordable, easy gift to give this holiday season. This one is for you. If you're short on time this holiday season, like the majority of us are, but you still want to give the gift of cookies, then this next idea is for you. What you're going to need is a kitchen towel. I have a leftover kitchen towel because do you guys remember when we made this pretty little pillow? I bought a package of 2 kitchen towels. The first kitchen towel had all of this embroidery on it, so I used that towel to create a festive accent pillow. Well, I had 1 towel left over, and so that's what we're going to use in this gift. So here's how we're gonna do it. Get your kitchen towel, lay it out, fold it in half, and then fold it back down to the bottom. Flip it over, fold one side in just a couple of inches, and then repeat the process on the other side. Then fold it in half. And now you have a pocket. And inside of that pocket, we are going to put some cookie dough mix and some cute little holiday cookie cutters. I'm just going to slide these items right into that pocket that we made with our kitchen towel. Then I stood it back up and I bent that flat back on the kitchen towel. I folded it down. I took a segment of gold thin ribbon. I wrapped it around the kitchen towel to hold it in place. Then I got another one of our free printable gift tags and slid that onto the ribbon and then tied it into a bow. You guys, look at how cute this is. And you would think, oh, it's gonna come unfolded. It doesn't. I'm just gonna hold it like this so you can see. The folding actually works really, really well. And it's like a little gift bag that you can reuse over and over again during the holiday season. And of course, we love a good cookie mix. So people can make cookies whenever they have time to do it, and they can cut it out in those festive holiday shapes we all know and love. And of course, you could switch it up. You could put a brownie mix inside. You could put a cake mix inside. And instead of having the cookie cutters, you could swap that out for measuring spoons or measuring cups. You can definitely customize it to whatever the receiver of the gift likes best. This gift was so easy to do. It was very inexpensive. And everybody loves a sweet treat during the holidays. I love revisiting special moments and memories through photos and videos, but I only have so much space to display frames throughout my house, and I can't do videos at all. Well, if you're like me, I have a solution. It's the Arzopa digital frame. Let's talk about the digital display. It's 14 inches, which is so much larger than the typical 10-inch frames out there. And I love this sleek gold frame. It's elegant and it's streamlined. It will fit in with any decor style. Your photos pop with incredible clarity and vibrance, making every detail come alive. It's so immersive, you'll feel like you're right back in that moment where that candid shot was taken. No more trying to squint at that little screen. It's large enough that you could really just take in that experience again. Adding the photos to your frame is so easy. All you need to do is download the app, select the photos you want from your photo gallery, and it will add them to the digital frame gallery. The reason why I selected the photos that I did is because I love taking my kids to Disney. We go all the time, and it is so fun to reminisce on those fabulous moments we spent together as a family. But what really sets it apart is the unlimited cloud storage. No more deleting photos because you don't have space. Those nostalgic throwbacks from years gone by, you can keep those and add new ones. And you can also add videos, which is so awesome because it's like you're reliving that memory over and over again. I love watching these memories in motion. It's much more engaging and vivid than just static images. And of course, the best part is that you never run out of storage, ever. It's all handled seamlessly through the cloud, so your frame stays full of joy without any hassle. If you are trying to find a one-of-a-kind, unique gift to give someone this holiday season, how special would it be to give them a digital frame and already upload those photos and videos, wrap it back up, and present that to your friend or family member? And all they would have to do is open up that box, plug in the frame, and they have a personalized slideshow of your best times together. It's not just a gadget, it's an emotional instant hit that I know that they will love. With Christmas coming up, I can't imagine a more thoughtful present. Plus, it's super user-friendly. If you're hunting for a gift that is personalized, meaningful, and practical, then this Arzopa digital frame is just what you're looking for. I will leave a link to the Arzopa digital frame in my description box so you can head on over to the website and check it out for yourself. Our next gift is a spa-inspired gift that is so easy to create. What you're gonna need first is a large jar. I found a stunning glass jar at Hobby Lobby in the bathroom section. I just looked at the top shelf and there were some jars there, and it was only $8.99 plus when I was there it was 40% off of that. So our jar is only about $5, which is fantastic. Now you could definitely leave your jar plain, but we're not gonna do that, are we? We're going to add a beautiful ornament to the center. I found an ornament design I loved on my Cricut design space, and then I had my Cricut maker cut it out on some white removable vinyl. I am going to weed away the design itself because we are creating a stencil. Now, I have told you in the past that you do not need a vinyl cutter to get this same look. A sticker will work, a stencil will work, so don't feel like you need to go out and buy a Cricut maker to do this project. There are other ways to get a festive holiday design. So once the design itself had been weeded away, I took some transfer tape and I placed that over the top. I pressed it firmly to the vinyl and then removed the backing from the vinyl. And then I placed my vinyl ornament in the center of my glass jar and then removed the transfer tape. We're going to be using some Krylon frosted glass finish to spray over the ornament. So we need to protect the rest of the container. So I just got a plastic grocery bag and covered up the rest of the container. And then I took the glass jar outside and I sprayed the Krylon frosted glass finish over the exposed areas on the design. I'm spraying it in a light coat. You don't want to go too heavy because you don't want it to drip. Once my first coat had been sprayed on, I let it dry for about 10 minutes. Then I came back and sprayed a second coat. This again is another light coat. And once I was finished with that second coat, I let it dry for an hour. Dependent on how light or how heavy you actually want your design to be will be how many times you spray your frosted glass finish over the surface of whatever design you want. 2 coats worked for me, but you could definitely do more or less dependent on how transparent you want your design to be. So now that everything's dry, I can remove the vinyl and the plastic grocery bag, and now you can see how absolutely stunning our ornament design is in the center of our jar. I love that subtle design. It's just a whisper of an ornament, but it definitely elevates the look of our glass jar. The items that I'm going to be putting inside of our glass jar are a candle. I've got some peppermint lotion. I have some hand soap, and then I also have some fuzzy Christmas socks. First up, I'm going to grab a handful of shredded red paper, and I'm going to place that in the bottom of the jar. Then I'm going to take my candle and I'm going to gingerly slide that into the jar because you don't want it to crack the glass. So I was very careful with that. Then I took my lotion and placed that next to the candle. And then I attempted to put in the hand soap and it was too big. So we're skipping the hand soap. That can be a gift for someone else later on. And lastly, I put in those festive Christmas socks. And then around the lid of the jar, I'm going to take a red ribbon with some gold snowflakes on it. I'm going to wrap it around the top. And then of course, I'm going to get another one of our free printable gift tags, slide that onto the ribbon, and then tie it into a bow. And that's it for our beautiful spa-inspired gift. Look at how fantastic this looks. I would be so excited if somebody gave me this for Christmas. First up, let's talk about the jar. Look at that subtle, fantastic ornament in the center, and you really can see it better now that we've got all of our items inside. And we've got some fabulous items that are in there. We've got our candle, our lotion, and our socks. And this is where you could get really creative. If you wanted to do like some hair care products, that would be really fun, with a brush and some shampoos and conditioners. Of course, this doesn't just have to be for the ladies. You could definitely give this to a gentleman and put in some sports paraphernalia, or even a razor and some shaving cream. You could also tuck in a little gift card if you wanted to as well. So this is a fun, easy, and dependent on what you put inside, inexpensive gift that you can give. Your jar also doesn't have to be this big. You could do a smaller one. It's really up to you. Customizable gifts like this are the best. I don't know about you, but I love the scents of Christmas, and there's nothing that screams Christmas more than the smell of a simmer pot. So that is what we are going to make next. I'm going to round up a couple of things for our simmer pot. We're going to need some oranges, cuties, or in my case, halos, because I already have those at home, so we're gonna use halos. I also have some cinnamon sticks, a bag of cranberry, and some rosemary sprigs. And the other thing you're gonna need is a ingredient and a recipe card, which is what I have for you. Once again, mine's printed out in black and white because that's what I have, but this is what it looks like if you want to print it out in color. Isn't that so cute? And it actually calls for orange peels, but I'm gonna do full oranges or halos or cuties because if I peeled them or cut them into slices, there's a chance I could get everything else and they're sticky, so we're just gonna leave them whole. The other thing I'm gonna need is a cellophane bag and some ribbon. Inside of the bag, I placed 1 cup of cranberries, 2 halos, 2 cinnamon sticks, and a sprig of rosemary. Then I threaded the recipe card onto the ribbon and I tied it around the top. That's it, you guys. We have a simmer pot in a bag. You could make a whole bunch of these and give them away as neighbor gifts. You could give them to friends or coworkers, and all they have to do is follow the instructions. You just need to pour everything from this bag into some water and just let it simmer, 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 and fill your house with a beautiful holiday scent. You can even store these in your fridge for a couple of days before you give them away. Mine have been in the fridge for a couple of days and they still look brand new. They're good to go, and these are so affordable. So if you need to give out a whole bunch of gifts, but you don't want to break the bank, then these holiday simmer pots are fantastic for you. You can fill your house with the magical sense of Christmas and your loved ones. If you like holiday decorating, DIYs, dupes, thrift flips, and complete room transformations, then you have come to the right place. Right now I'm posting videos on Monday and Thursday until mid-December, so make sure you're subscribed so you can join in on all of the holiday fun. Next, we're gonna make some chocolate wreaths, and we're gonna get a little fancy with our chocolates. I have a variety of Lindt chocolates. And then I also need some cellophane, and I'm going to take this cellophane and I'm going to cut it into long strips that are wide enough to wrap around the candy, so about 5 to 6 inches wide. Then I'm going to take my candy and I'm going to space it out evenly down the center of the cellophane strip. Then I'm going to get some white ribbon and I'm going to tie a knot in the ribbon between each one of the Lindt chocolates. I'm going to continue to tie the knots with the ribbon in between all of the candy until all of the chocolate balls have been encased in the cellophane. Then I'm going to curve this into a circle, and then I'm going to tie the ends of the ribbon together to form a wreath. I made 2 chocolate wreaths, and then you've got to take into consideration those that are trying to stay healthy during the holidays. It's not us at our family, we love chocolate, but there are those out there, so you can substitute those chocolates for some halos. We already used them, I still have more, so I'm going to do the exact same thing with these halos. You could definitely use oranges or apples or any other fruit that's shaped circularly. That would be great for this wreath as well. Now at the bottom, we've got to make it look a little fancy. So what I'm going to do is take more of that ribbon, I'm going to wrap it around the wreath, and then I'm going to get another free printable gift tag, thread that onto the ribbon, and then tie it into a bow. And that's it, you guys. Look how cute these little candy wreaths are. I think that they are just fancy enough to really make an impression. It's because we used the fancy good chocolate. But if you didn't want to use this chocolate, you could definitely put in some Hershey Kisses. That would work too. And then of course we've got our healthy orange wreath right here. So we have a couple of different options that you can use for candy or sweet treats for your wreath. Once again, if you need to give gifts in masses to either students or families or coworkers, this is a great way to get a very unique, one-of-a-kind gift that has just enough sweet treats in it to make an impression, but it's definitely a gift you can give on a budget. I was out shopping at Publix the other day. Publix is a grocery store down here in the South, and I love it. We have one really close to our house. They have a holiday display in the front, and on one of the shelves was a very festive red tray. It was only $1.99. Yes, it's plastic, but that's okay. So I scooped up this pretty vibrant, bright red tray. On top of our holiday tray, I'm going to add some more items so you can make a tasty treat during the holidays. And the reason why I went with a muffin mix was because they were buy one, get one at Publix. So I picked up 2 of these delicious muffin mixes. I also have some cute little baking cups. And then I got a set of measuring cups from the Dollar Tree. You can, of course, wrap these items all up in some cellophane, but we are going to take it to the next level. We are going to be using some shrink wrap. I purchased this shrink wrap at Hobby Lobby. I cut a segment that was large enough to fit all the way around my tray and the items on top. And this is where the fun really begins. I'm going to get an old hair dryer that can get really hot, and I set it to the highest heat, and then I began to blow that heat onto the shrink wrap. You can see that the shrink wrap will start to cling to the items on the tray. I continue to heat up all of the shrink wrap around all the items on the tray. This stuff is magic. It just gets me every time. And it hardens as it cools. So now that our shrink wrap has been shrunk around all of our items, I'm going to get some ribbon and another gift tag. I'm going to wrap that around the top of the shrink wrap and tie it into a bow. Look at how fancy this gift looks, you guys. We've got our vibrant red plastic tray at the bottom. It's got our delicious muffin mix inside. This is a very practical gift, especially during the holiday seasons where everybody's on the go and they don't have a whole lot of time to cook. And you would never guess that this pretty red tray was just $1.99, and it will once again come in very handy during the holiday season when you have parties and people over and you need serving dishes that are festive and bright. I have 2 honorable mention gifts that I know you will love, and if you watched my holiday home tour last week, you got to meet my sweet mother. She is a gem and so thoughtful, and one of the things she gave me and Ken a couple years ago were these recipe cards. I had her explain it a little bit in that video, and what she did was she took our favorite Christmas treats. Mine is a mint cookie chocolate sandwich, and Ken's is carrot pudding. She wrote the cookie mint sandwich recipe out in her own handwriting and framed it. And then she had Ken's mom write out the carrot pudding recipe in her handwriting and framed that as well. So now we have these 2 very thoughtful, very personal gifts that she was able to give us that mean so much to us. But guess what? It hardly cost anything to put together besides the cost of the frame. And these are a treasure. You can definitely give a gift that's affordable and sentimental at the same time, very inexpensively. Another very inexpensive but personal gift that you can make for your family or give away are these Santa trays. I made mine a couple of years ago, and all I did was I got a tray. This is just a plastic tray, and I bought it at Hobby Lobby. And then I cut out all kinds of designs on my Cricut. We have a spot for milk for Santa. We have a spot for the cookies. And we can't forget about the reindeer. We've got a spot for them too. On Christmas Eve, we get out this tray and fill it up with treats for Santa. You could definitely create this with a Cricut. However, if you don't have one, once again, not a problem. Get a tray and a permanent marker, and you could just trace out all of these same designs and wording by hand. This is definitely one of my favorite Christmas pieces. So if you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, neighbors with kids, this is a fun gift that you can give them, or of course, just keep for yourself and use on Christmas Eve. Phew, that was a lot of Christmas gifts, you guys. We were able to come up with all kinds of fabulous presents that you can give this holiday season very affordably, from our scrub to the potpourri to the spa day to all of our baked goods and even that fabulous digital frame. Christmas time can get expensive, and if you're like me, you love giving gifts, but you don't want to break the bank. The ideas that we did today were personal, they were creative, and of course they could be sentimental. They were unique, custom, easy, and budget friendly, which proves that you can live beautifully and you can do it during the Christmas season. If you have an inexpensive gift that you love to give, leave me a comment and let me know all about it. I would love to see what you guys give, and I'm sure that everybody else reading the comments would love some more ideas for gifts to give this holiday season. Well, we still have more Christmas decorating, we have entertaining ideas and more gift ideas coming up, so make sure that you are subscribed so you can join in on all the holiday fun that we are still going to have on Monday and Thursday. Well, I hope you got some inspiration or some ideas today. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.